Hey, I'm live. So it says, here we are. Let's see. Make sure all systems are go. Make sure we're all good to go. Let's put my mic a little bit closer to me. Let's see what we got going on. Make sure my volume is right. There we go. Volume, all right. Yeah, volume is good on the mic. All right, we're good to go. Hey, everybody. How are you? It is bedtime. I don't know about any of you, but this is typically my wind down time. I can't even talk. See, I have had a full day today, and it is absolutely my wind down time. Typically on at this kind of hour, but I wanted to come on because I wasn't able to come on last week, and so I said, "Listen, let me come on here." And I wanted to change up the times that I go live anyway. And so I said, let me come on here, go live real quick, and not real quick. I'll, well, I'm gonna probably spend a good 10 to 15. We'll see. So, but I wanted to go on live, come in, say hello, and give you guys some updated current news. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, shout out to, let me make sure I got them. Shout out to someone who commented on my video, actually my PHFA K-FIT video a few weeks ago at KCB211. Can I tag them in there? Let me see. Hello, Justine. KCB211. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna try to. Let me see. KCB211. I'm gonna add them, and I don't know if that does anything, but I did it. I don't know if that works. I don't know how that works. But anyhow, shout out to them. We were having a good conversation. They were asking about the grant program, and it was actually, they commented on a video I did 3 years ago, which that video has done and continues to do really well because a lot of people want to know about grant programs in general. That is not the only grant video that I have done, but I think that particular grant program is more and more popular, especially in our local PA area. Definitely a popular one. So that one continues to do well. A lot of people continue to ask questions about it. And so I love it. That's a great thing about YouTube. It doesn't matter how old a video is. I know I stumble upon videos 15 years old, but it still works, right? So I appreciate it. Yes, it is there, but not a hyperlink, but it's there. Yeah. But shout out to that viewer. Hopefully they watch this or watch the replay. But I wanted to talk about the reason why I titled tonight's live with that is because, as I've been talking about, just like I talked about in another live that went really well because people, always like to hear about the FHA loans, which is a very popular loan. It's typical for first time home buyers to use it. And a lot of times people like to utilize that loan product. A big change, a major, huge change that happened with that is that it's no longer available to those who are not US citizens, who are not long term US citizens. And so that was a major thing that has come to pass. And, a lot of people engaged in that video and gave their opinions on it, which I understand. I was just being a journalist in the moment and reporting the news. And so another thing I want to talk about are grant programs, which I was at a networking event over the weekend and talking through it was mainly investors but it was people from other kind of around real estate fields and also adjacent to fields. But one of the things that was said was how these grant programs, some of them are going to go away. And we can't be surprised. We've heard a lot of things already with HUD being cut. And it's just been a lot going on, right? And so unfortunately, these things are going to potentially go away. Hold on. Uh, Client stuff. I usually don't answer this late, but I needed to. Uh, it's real life, y'all. So I wanted to not leave my client hanging there for a second. We're going to be putting in an offer. And so, anyhow, I want to talk about K-FIT programs. And I want to say here, number one, let's talk about how many housing grants are facing severe cuts and potential elimination due to proposed federal budget cuts, right? And so one of them is, the Republican House has proposed a flat funding voucher or for voucher contracts, and they are broader, and there are broader cuts to other programs like community development programs. So the home grant program, these cuts could significantly impact the number of people receiving rental assistance and availability for services like homelessness. This also is under the umbrella of getting grant funding for many first time home buyers. Okay. And so especially these grant service areas that can be underfunded at times, can be where people have the demographic of like everybody else, we're all trying to figure it out. And so they will push money. Typically, the government will push money to certain areas and everything to promote an influx of people to buy, right? And so a lot of different banks and outside of just the government, but banks and things will have programs specific to certain areas, to certain price points, to be able to help people who do not have funds readily available to just go ahead and buy a house even in their neighborhood. And so one of the things that can be a threat, unfortunately, is that funding could be cut. And so we already know with student loans, some things that could be going on there, but it's a potential, it's a possibility. So what I always say is that get in where you fit in. While funds are available, utilize them. I'm also on the board of an affordable housing. I'm a part of for the area, the township that I'm in. I'm a part of their affordable housing board. And even we're all like, oh, well, we got the money. We're gonna use it. We're gonna do our part because they build affordable housing in that particular township. And as well, the money that we have, we're gonna use it. We're gonna utilize it. And so because we don't know, we just don't know. And that's the thing. We're not sure. We see what's happening now. We don't know what's projected to happen, but the potential is there for it to, decline greatly or just be gone, be eliminated altogether. That's why I wanted to say, hey, these grants, if you are a first time home buyer, if you know people who need to buy or are thinking of buying, you definitely want to encourage them. Don't fear monger them. Don't do that. Don't scare them to death, but just strongly encourage them. Hey, the climate that we're living in, utilize it if you, and especially for those, and it's really for those people who they're pretty much ready to go, right? They got some money saved. Their credit's where they need to be. They're stable, all those different things, but they're kind of apprehensive. They're hesitant because of the market, because of this, because of that, for whatever reason. And so those people, you definitely want to encourage them. Talk to a professional, talk to somebody, Don't wait. Don't wait for whatever you're looking to drop. Don't wait for that. There are funds available. There is something available for you to be able to get done what you need to get done. So here's a refresher. What is the K-FIT program? Let's talk about it. K-FIT program. K-FIT stands for, what does it stand for, y'all? K-FIT stands for Keystone Forgivable in 10 Years Loan Program. I had to look at the notes and make sure I had it. All right. It's offered by the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, therefore PHFA. It is for first-time home buyer. It covers upfront costs or down payment. So it covers your down payment and closing costs. 5%, you get 5% of the home purchase price. Now, you just heard me say what the K-FIT stand for, which is Forgivable in 10 Years Loan Program. It is technically a forgivable loan. Okay. So, of course, it's advertised as a grant, but it is technically a forgivable loan, meaning that it is forgivable after 10 years. You don't have to pay it back. So if you stay in your home for a decade, you do not have to pay it back. Now, I always say that your home, your number one, you're paying down your home, and as you're paying down your loan that you use to get the home, that money to finance it, you are also increasing the equity. So whatever funds that you use, any grant that's forgivable like that, and most are, all right, most grants that are grants are forgivable loan. There are second mortgages, liens on the house. Okay, so let's be clear. Most are. That includes the ones from the federal government, including the ones from banks. They are typically some form of a forgivable loan, not necessarily free money. Okay. But every grant has its own stipulations. For some grants, that's 10 years, which is actually on the low end, because a lot of them can be 15 years, 20 years, 25, 30 years. I've seen upwards to 30 years. But again, if you are paying down your mortgage, you're paying your loan down, you're increasing equity, your home is increasing in value, it's okay. Guess what? When you go to sell your home, whatever you do, you'll be able to cover the cost of the money that you utilize for your down payment. So you'll be okay. It'll wash out in the end. So I always tell people, don't freak out over that. You do what you need to do to get where you need to get, and you'll be all right. Okay. So that's one of the things there. What do you need to do to qualify? Of course, you need to be a first-time home buyer. You need to have a credit score of at least 660 to qualify for this program. Okay. Um, let's see. Assistance. The assistance can only be used for down payment or closing costs. The minimum loan amount is $500. I hope you're not buying a house for well, I hope you can buy a house for $500 and don't need it to be financed. And you don't need a grant. But the minimum loan amount is $500. So yeah, there's that. It cannot be combined with another PHFA assistance program. But if you're buying in Philly, it can be combined with like a Philly First Home. Um, it can be combined with that grant. Okay. This K-FIT grant program can be utilized with a conventional loan, FHA loan, a VA loan, or any rural loan RD loan. Okay. Your assets, the liquid funds, cannot be greater than 50,000 after deducting the funds needed to close. So your checking, your savings, your stocks, your bonds, you can't have, money that's just sitting there that you're sitting on. If you're sitting on stacks of money and you're a first time home buyer, yeah, all right, you better put it somewhere good. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, the other great thing about this program And, I am very much supportive of those who are first-time home buyers, is that you can utilize this grant programs to be able to get a duplex. I don't believe it goes beyond 2 units. So from my research, you can't do beyond a duplex. So if you want a house hack, this is a great loan product to get in and utilize, help you with your closing costs, and you'll be able to get a 2-unit property, which is still very, very good. There's nothing wrong with that. Anything else I wanted to say about it? That's pretty much it. Listen, if you have any other questions about this particular program, I have definitely talked about this before. There is I believe that's pretty much the cap for that. There is a pretty high purchase price amount that's on the K-FIT as well. I think it's like the 700s, I believe. It's pretty high if there is a cap. Um, it might be an income. I believe, no, I'm not going to say might. I know that there is an income gap, but again, cap. But again, it's pretty high. So most first time home buyers qualify for it. Um, and so whether it's income, they go pretty high for income, whatever that cap is, and they go pretty high for purchase of a home price. I want to say it's 6, 7. I want to say it's in there. I'm not a loan officer. I just have a good idea, understanding of the basics, so I can be able to point my buyers in the right direction. So I just wanted to come on here, hop on there, and say that, listen, be watchful, be mindful, understand that these opportunities can, these grants, you may think to yourself, hey, it doesn't affect me. Um, why do I care? You should, because these things have, ripple effects within our economy, right? So when only certain segments are able to buy in certain areas, it definitely creates a ripple effect. So making sure that these these funds are available for different people who need them is so important. It helps with, again, our real estate ecosystem. It helps with our economy. All these things help with that, for people to be able to utilize these funds. Um, and even, when you're talking about real estate development and funds being cut when people aren't able to get the incentives for doing affordable housing, it makes things tough. It definitely does. So we want to keep all these things in mind and hope for the best, that we can keep the real estate ecosystem going and going strong, even though it's looking a little scarce. That's looking scarce. But the great thing is, even we're headed for a recession, let's be clear. But even if the housing market does what it does, guess what? If interest rates go low, you're a current homeowner, you know what you need to do? You need to refinance. Okay. And capitalize on if rates go low or drop. Okay. Of course, if you're looking to buy, make sure you have money in your reserves, because it will get more competitive. Supply and demand, I talk about it all the time. It will get more competitive. So make sure that you are ready to jump for whatever house, whatever investment property you want to get, and that you're ready for it. That's all. Just, you're ready for the shift, you're ready for the change, you're ready for the pivot. That's all I have to say. I need to go to bed. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Hopefully, it will be a lunchtime, afternoon, whenever live. But I'll talk to you guys soon. Listen, you guys know what you need to do. You got to know at this point. You got to know that you need to go to book.djmrealtyco.com and schedule that appointment. I'm going to go ahead and pin the message. Schedule that appointment. Hey, you're not looking to buy, you're not looking to sell, that's fine. Send it to a friend, send it to a coworker, send it to a family member, send it to somebody who you know has been thinking, halfway talking about buying or selling real estate. And so they can get in contact with me. I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to go take a nap. I need to pick up my son first, but I'm going to go take a nap. Well, not a nap, see? I'm going to go to sleep. And then I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.